Welcome to the movie review, and as always, I am your host, Ho Ho. How y'all's doing? I hope you're doing good. I really do. So today we are doing an actor spotlight, shining the light onto an actor whom is most known for his kindness and his generosity, Keanu Reeves. Now, he was born in 1964 to a costume designer and performer, Sam Nolan Reeves, and his mother, English, originating from Essex, and his American father was from Hawaii and is a native Hawaiian and of Chinese, English, Irish, and Portuguese descent. I did not know all that. Now, his father abandoned his mom whenever Reeves was just 3 years old, and the last time that Keanu Reeves seen his dad was on a Hawaiian island when he was just 13 years old. Now, his parents divorced in 1966 when his mom moved to Sydney, and then his mom moved to Sydney, and then to New York City, where she married Paul Aaron, a Broadway and Hollywood director. And then in 1970, they moved to Toronto, and then they divorced in 1971. But this time frame is when Keanu Reeves really did get his love for Hollywood and for acting. Mr. Reeves said in an interview that you begin to mimic what it is you see in your earlier days, and during that time frame, that's what he was doing, was helping his stepdad, and that's where he really got his love. And his talents very much shined more in Broadway, or more on Broadway than they really ever did in Hollywood. It's actually kind of interesting to me that, in Hollywood, he really had a hard time getting the approval of critics, but on Broadway, they really enjoyed his work. I got to admit, though, I've never seen anything like that. I've really never been one that's big on Broadway. I mean, I have seen several, school plays and things of that nature, but I've never been to a full-on production. I really haven't. It's something that I would like to do, at least at some point. I think that would be really, really neat. But let's see. Let's continue into this. Yeah, and after his mom and Paul Aaron divorced, they still kept in contact. And it was, let's see, back in 1970, what year was that? 1976, I believe. No. I'm sorry, not 1976. No, where did it go? I don't remember. Oh yeah, so he had dropped out of high school back in whenever he was 17, and 3 years after that, he was able to get his green card with the help of his stepdad, and moved to Los Angeles at that time. 3 years later, 17, 18, 19, 20, but whenever he was about 20 years old. And Keanu Reeves is definitely one of them actors that he's seen some pretty big tragedies in his life. He's somebody that never did get caught up in the fame and the fortune. That was something that, it wasn't a big part of his life. He sees, money as a means to an end, one less thing to worry about and something to help him, or a way by which for him to help others. He's well known for, like in the case of a couple movies, that he has accepted a lower pay in order to get bigger name actors associated with the movie. And, even in movies like, The Matrix, where I don't remember if it was part 1 or part 2, he bought and paid for a motorcycle to be given to each and every one of the cast. No, I'm sorry, not the cast, but the crew. Something that just screams of his, generosity. He Okay, before I start getting into this, there's some facts in here that I want to get to that I don't want to, try to give you wrong information. But he did marry back in, oh, if I scroll back up to the top, it'll give me that information. Back in 1998. And his wife gave birth to a stillborn daughter, and that wrecked them. Very much did wreck them until 3 weeks later, after the stillborn birth of his daughter, did him and his significant other, Jennifer Syme, I know I'm butchering that name, Syme, had split up, and they were beginning to reconcile their relationship, and was at least getting back together whenever she died tragically in 2001 in an accident, in a wreck, not wearing a seatbelt. And I think, if I remember correctly, she was intoxicated at the time. I believe she was had left a party, and that her death was very much contributed to her not wearing her seatbelt. And it was something that, it was something that was very hard for Mr. Reeves to go through. I mean, he is somebody whom, that very dark time in his past was something that, really haunted him and stayed with him for a good number of years until, finally in 2018, getting into another relationship where he, like maybe mild dating with people, periodically between then and, 2018, or at least from, 2001 to 2018. So, I mean, he'd kind of been, a little on the, not really being serious in a relationship until, meeting Alexander Grant, whom actually helped him in a project of his, which maybe he was kind of talked into in a little bit, with some of the stuff that Alexandra had done as far as artwork, and then some of the poetry that Keanu Reeves had written. They kind of put their works together and made a book, a haiku, if you will, but a book of poetry with the illustrations being done by Alexander Grant, which I thought was actually pretty neat. Some of the stuff I had seen already, very, very neat stuff. I got the sniffles. I don't know why. I've been sneezing a lot today. Anyway, now his acting career really did start back in 1985, and he has been in 78 films, and even has done a handful of television appearances, and even in 3 different video games using his voice and or likeness in these video games. And, as much of an individual, because Keanu Reeves is one of them actors that it's not just, some of the stuff that he's been in that I really like. It's just the man in general. He is known for, just living amongst everyday people. I mean, he doesn't consider himself special. He doesn't consider himself, he's very much not stuck on himself. He is, seen riding public transportation. He's seen, giving up his seat for different individuals, people whom he thinks deserves to have the seat more than he does. He's known for just being out and about and being very kind and generous with not only, his money, but with his time, with fans, with different things that he's done. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that, is out there of different things that, Keanu Reeves has done, including even like basically being a tour guide whenever they were, stranded after a flight in Sacramento, California, if I'm not mistaken, kind of being a tour guide. I thought that was just neat, But the person he is, he's always been very, very giving. And, of his 78 films that he's been in, there's really not a lot of them after everything's all said and done that I've really seen. Not because of, him not being in it, but some of the movies that he's in, I'm just not really into some of the movies. The first one that I had seen of him was in 1989, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's the first one. And, that's the one that a movie that will be the stigma of him throughout the majority of his, pretty much his early years in acting in general. Until he was finally kind of able to get out of that a little bit back in 1982 after the second Bill and Ted's movie, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. But let's go ahead and scoot back just a little bit, though. It was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989. And, he's got that kid type of a thing, and he's been really trying to, shortly after that, get out of the teenager kid type of acting roles. And his first kind of, serious role, I guess you can say, where he kind of broke out of that teenage acting role was in Point Break, playing Johnny Utah alongside Patrick Swayze. Excellent movie. I liked it at any rate. And then it was actually shortly after that, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And then he was in Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1982, starring alongside, what's his name? Oh, holy crap, what is his name? I don't remember. The actor who played Dracula. I don't remember his name. Severus Snape, I believe. Yeah. The actor that played Severus Snape in the Harry Potter movies, it was him. Can't think of his name right now. But he got, very poor critic, critics did not like him in that role, and in a matter of speaking, understandably so. And it wasn't because of his overall performance. It was because of his inability to hold on to an accent. That's where he really lost critics and lost a lot of fan base. Not that his performance itself wasn't good. It was just, he really struggled with that whole accent thing. He really did. And it's one of them things that you would like to not hold something like that against him. But as an actor, when your job is to, make people believe that they are getting a glimpse into this, into this movie magic, that those type of inconsistencies can really take away from the overall feel of the movie. And I guess that's more or less what they were, what they were criticizing him about. I'll tell you what, there ain't no way I'd be able to do something like that all that easy, just being honest with you. And among some of his other notable filmography movies that he has been in, that made a lot of sense. Speed, back in 1994, playing Officer Jack Traven, was another excellent movie starring alongside Sandra Bullock. Awesome movie. And then Johnny Mnemonic in 1995. Not a movie that I have actually seen, but one of those movies that I am wanting to see. I just never have gotten around to it. I don't know why. 1996, he did Chain Reaction. Excellent movie. Definitely seen that one. The Devil's Advocate, 1997, which was definitely a role where he took on less money in order to get, Al Pacino as a role in that movie, which I thought was actually pretty stinking cool. He did the same thing in the movie Replacements from 2000. Another excellent movie. Oh, wait, I'm skipping a movie in there that I was wanting to... Oh, yeah, The Matrix was 1999. The year before he did the Replacements. 2003 is when he did The Matrix Reloaded. You had Animatrix in 2003 and The Matrix Revolutions. You had Constantine, another awesome movie that he did in 2005. The Lake House, where he Was that one another Sandra Bullock movie? I think it was 2006. You had The Day the Earth Stood Still, 2008. Awesome movie, might I add. You also had 47 Ronin in 2013. John Wick of 2014. Knock Knock in 2015. An awesome movie. Skipping ahead. John Wick Chapter 2 in 2017. Replicas 2018, another excellent movie. 2019, you had John Wick Chapter 3, and I gotta be honest, I've yet to see that one. I haven't. You have Between Two Ferns, the movie, 2019. 2020, Bill and Ted Face the Music, which I have yet to watch. The Matrix Resurrections, 2021, which I had just recently watched, like, I don't know, a week ago, I think. Excellent movie. And then 2023, you have Keanu Reeves reprising the role of John Wick again for John Wick Chapter 4. So there is not all of his filmography. Again, the man has been in 78 different films as actor, doing uncredited cameos, documentaries, producers, and director, voice actor. Yeah. 78 different movies from 1985 to the future and beyond. 2023. Awesome actor, though. He really is. Again, we're talking about somebody whom, has been in Hollywood since 1985. 78 films. Has struggled to prove himself as an actor pretty much since day one. Excuse me. A man whom has received almost as many Raspberry Awards that he has MTV Movie Awards. Because I believe he has been nominated and has won 3 MTV Movie Awards. 1, 3, 1, 2, 4. I'm sorry. He's won 4. He got Most Desirable Male in 1992 for the movie Point Break. He won Best On-Screen Duo with Sandra Bullock in the 1995 film of Speed. And in 2000, Best Fight shared with Lawrence Fishburne, and Best Male Performance, both for the movie The Matrix. So those are the awards that he won, at least for the MTV Movie Awards, and then his Raspberry Awards. And I got to admit, some of these are actually kind of funny. You have Worst Supporting Actor. Now, all of these actually are nominations, okay? And some of these definitely do crack me up. But all of these are nominations, none of which he won any of these awards, but he was definitely still notably nominated. Worst Supporting Actor from the 1994's movie Much Ado About Nothing. Worst Actor for A Walk in the Clouds, 1996, and Johnny Mnemonic. And also in Chain Reaction of 1997. Now again, Chain Reaction, I thought was an excellent movie. I liked it. You had Worst Supporting Actor in 2001, The Watcher, never seen it. Worst Actor in Hardball and Sweet November, both in 2002. You have Worst of Our First 25 Years, which is hilarious. This is one of them that definitely cracked me up because he was nominated for 7 prior Razzies and without winning any of them, and that nomination was 2005. You had the Razzie Redeemer Award. Now this was kind of saying something for John Wick 2015, and in 2020 for John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, and Toy Story 4. Now, this is why I bring this up. This isn't to make fun of the man's career, and this isn't to, be critical of him, because in a matter of speaking, this is an actor whom, does really good on Broadway, and some of these, let's just face it, the man, did a lot of this, could arguably said that he did this in order to, kind of run away from some of his emotional distress that he was going through, some of the tragedies that he's known in his life. Understandable, but he's done very good critic reviews on Broadway. They've been very critical of him in Hollywood. But I don't understand some of the criticism, like with Chain Reaction. It was a good movie. Morgan Freeman, I forget who the gal was. I mean, the same person that acted alongside him in what movie was that? Constantine, same, co-star, female co-star that was in that one. Also was in, alongside Brendan Fraser, not Keanu Reeves, but the actress was alongside Brendan Fraser in the Mummy movies. So I mean, she's a well-known actress. Sorry. But yeah, it's like I don't understand the criticism of some of these movies, like Chain Reaction, and that's and Giant. Well, okay, yeah, that's really the only one that I can talk about is Chain Reaction. Because that's the only one out of this list that I've actually seen. I've not seen any of the other ones on that list for the Golden Raspberry Awards. Not seen any of them. Now I mean, of course, the Razzie Redeemer Award. Yeah, I've seen John Wick. I've not seen John Wick 3, but I have seen the first John Wick. And absolutely, but yes, excellent actor, at least in my opinion. Somebody whom is very, I mean, like, guys, okay, another nice fun fact about Keanu Reeves. It was only recently, sometime since, possibly 2018, maybe even a little after that Keanu Reeves actually got his first house in Hollywood. Prior to that, he was living in hotel rooms because he just couldn't justify buying or renting a house. He just couldn't do it, living at a hotel room. So, I mean, like, the guy is a minimalist. He is notably a Buddhist and a pacifist, which is also why it's kind of strange why he took on the role like John Wick in the first place. But then again, you don't mess with a man's dog. Kind of fitting for who he is. Anyway, this is Keanu Reeves, awesome actor, very well known for his kindness, his generosity. And that is all I got on this one. Y'all have yourself a great one. See you in the next one.